Um, hey guys, it's me again, and today I just wanted to talk about the complexity of race. Okay, what do I mean by that? As you know, lots of people like to say that race is a social construct, and that's true enough. And I know some of you dark medicine guys are gonna get mad at me, but bro, I'll try and look for some studies. But the actual genetic difference between most human groups, I think is around 0.3%. And at its widest, it's around 0.5. Does that include say hello to my cat Loki Jr., aka Canita, everyone? Uh anyway, does that include um important genetic differences, like genetic differences that determine diseases like um I think Klinefelter and sickle cell anemia? Heck yeah it does. But in the end, those don't take away from our essential humanity. Um and you can see it in the fact that, like, contrary to popular belief, I know Americans love to think this, but they do not have a monopoly on race. Their definition of race, as it was legally codified with the one drop rule, was not um that wasn't the only one. It wasn't even close to the only one, guys. Um, in the Spanish system, because, we had so much intermixing that went on, um, its racial system, its racial caste, quote unquote, became a lot more fluid. For example, even though I am mixed race, like I said, 60% European, about 30% indigenous, and 10% African, because of my phenotype, the way my genetics have been expressed as being more so on the European side, I would have, obviously, as people today still do, received preferential treatment. I've talked about that. Um but yeah, anyway, because of this sort of fluidity within the Spanish caste system, what ended up happening was that your um culture became way more important than your actual genetic composition. They used to keep track more precisely. They had all these terms: lobo, cuaterón de indio, cuaterón de negro, um, chino. But at a certain point, um, it became impossible to keep track, brothers and sisters. Like, because everyone was all mixed up. There was even a category for if you were 1/64th of something, and it's literally no te entiendo. I don't understand you, or I don't understand what you are, brothers and sisters. Um so so yeah, guys, your culture became more important than your genetic composition. Um, and they tended to show preferential treatment to those individuals that assimilated to European culture, that learned Spanish, that adopted Western ways of dressing and acting as opposed to, let's say, traditionally African or traditionally indigenous, right? And of course, as I've also mentioned here before, that doesn't mean that the practices went away. They just took on new forms, were hidden, and yeah, dude. Now, where this gets interesting is that such a system did actually exist in the United States in the early days when it was in the process of annexing Louisiana, which was a Franco-Spanish colony. It traded hands so much, but yeah, this is where you get a lot of conflict because the United States tried to impose their conception of race onto the inhabitants of Louisiana. And of course they're gonna be like, what do you mean we've lived without racial separation for 200 years and you're now just gonna take that away? Well, how can you do that? Which is how you get eventually way down the road stuff like Plessy versus Ferguson, the citizens committees working to overturn that separation. And it's because you were literally taking two different worlds and trying to mesh them together, which, I mean, it literally was a whole different country. Literally, that's the thing. That's how nationalism clouds your understanding of the complexities of what it means to build a nation. You have to take these things into account. But yeah, dudes, well, what can I say about Creole culture in Louisiana? That's a perfect example. All you have to do is look there to see that the American system was not the only one. Again, I'll keep saying it because there are certain of our, let's just say, red cap wearing and blue haired barbarians out there that don't want to acknowledge this, that claim to not be basis, but then they reveal themselves to in fact be ignorant and American and Eurocentric when we tell them that you're not the only country out there. Your ways of thinking are not the only ways of thinking. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little history lesson, that little, sort of, a diatribe, I guess. But yeah. I appreciate you guys. Bye.